Hello Double Hunters, and we're here on a video that's different from what little content I have in the channel. But I want to make this because I want to get it out of my chest. If you could share it to other people, it'll be good. A good way to show insight of how the Netflix adaptation kinda just shit all over the main continuity and original source of Devil May Cry. But I want you to be polite about it. Don't go harass anyone. Like if Adi Shaker did the writing of the whole shithole that it was the thingy. Like, don't be another Adi Shaker and go fucking saying dumb shit to him. Like, be a better person. That's all I ask. This is the spoiler disclaimer part, basically. So if you haven't watched the eight episodes of the whole show, I'm gonna talk some central points of the show. I'm gonna go in details about stuff that is a spoiler of the show. If you don't care or you don't care about watching the show, you can still use this for context, because I'm going to tackle how badly it is adapted the Devil May Cry lore and the whole meaning of Devil May Cry. But let's begin. So yeah, this is your last warning. If you don't care about spoilers, please continue watching the video. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get the beans out of here. Sorry, beans. Let's start with a very quick TLDR of the Devil May Cry lore. Let's put the basic concepts first. You see this dude over here? This dude. Wait, let me change the color of this shit. A gray. But like, gonna want a grayer gray. Yes, sure. You see this dude over here? His name is Pluto. This dude is Pluto. This is Mr. Pluto, okay? I want you to take that into consideration. Okay, this dude is Pluto. Why is he important? Well, let's start with the beginning. Devil May Cry originally, it was one reality. So one. Pardon my. So it was one, a singular one. Okay. Before you say, "What is your source? What are you fucking yapping about?" Here. Let me get this because I'm gonna use Google. What is this shit? DMC lore. Okay. Here, have it. This is the Devil May Cry 3 manga, which is canon, by the way, and it was provided to Adi Shaker as a source material, as far as I am concerned, to adapt the show. Let's see what the very first page has to say. No, the world was born of darkness. Okay, cool. And this picture right here. This is one of the translations. I think it's not the most accurate one. I'm gonna go for a more accurate one because it's here. Wait. As you can see, I have the research because I was trying to make the video like 20 times. Okay. What is this shit? Oh my god. Okay. Okay, this is Pluto. Let him be, okay. But this is it. This is the part that I wanted to say, okay? Let's summon it. Okay. So here is the TLDR. Unending darkness, a crucible of chaos. But even to that primordial existence, there came a ray of light. The universe was eventually split into. The darkness became the realm of demons, and the light became the domain of mortals. These two worlds existed together for what it seemed like an eternity. Okay? Okay. So, what we get from this? The world originally, what is it? It was the paint. Originally it was one whole thing. It was this whole thingy. It was this whole universe, okay? This was the reality. The darkness had rays of light, okay? The little modes of light. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, these are rays of light. It's metaphorically, okay? Okay. So, representation. Okay. Let's start with the first step. This dude, Pluto over here, Mr. Pluton, said, I'm bored. He lifted his spear and he caught reality into it. He caught it once. He caught it in reality into. Okay? And from that action, the worlds got separated. They became the demon world, darkness, and the human world, which is the light. Okay? It's said here. It's literally said on the manga. It's the second page and third page. It's here. You know? It's here. This is kinda the bad translation. This is the good one, I think. I think. Okay. So, with that out of the way, let's go to the second part. After that, he emerged from the darkness, so he go out of the fucking demon world, you know, and he said, nah, I'm gonna chain these two together, okay? He planted a giant spike. He said that it's a giant spike. He chained it here to keep this from separating. He sealed it and he keep this from separating. That's why they're still together despite they're being separated from by Pluton, because he said, nah, we're gonna keep them together, okay? Okay, very well. Before you say, source! Where is the source? There are many things up! I'm not, bro. What is this? Here. What is this shit? I know this shit, this site is a shit show, but it has some of the sources that I want to talk about, so. Okay, here. This is the page 16 of the this is the page 21. It says, I don't know if it is the 21. Here it says it's 26. I mean 16, because there's 2, and here 16 and 17. Yeah, it's different, but this translation is better, like the one on this. When heaven and earth were rent asunder, a demon with giant wings with black horns emerged from the darkness. He hammered a giant spike into the earth so that heaven and earth will never again be split apart. To prevent the spike from removing itself, he chained the Undying One to it and cast an eternal seal. Okay? This is important. He did this. This dude over here did this. He got bored, he used his spear. It looks like a hellbar, but you get the point. He split reality, okay? Okay. And then he chained them together, because that's what he does. I don't know why he did it, but he did it anyway. That's the tldr. Much time later, Sparda came and rebelled against his own kind. You know the legend. You know the legend. If you don't know it, then tldr Sparda saw the compassion and kindness of the humans and decided to fight for them because they were powerless and they would get absolutely destroyed by his own species. So he became the, at least for what we know of records, the very first demon that is good. Okay, he's good. He's a good guy. He been chilling. So he went to the demon world and he basically, I mean, he stood here alone because he said, all of you versus me alone, bros, come on. He said, and he fought, but then decided to seal this thing, so no demon could cross. Put a giant barrier on it, and that's the tldr. Okay, now that the surface level is done, that's the very basic explanation of how how Devil May Cry world came to be. Okay, these are the important parts. The darkness being the demons and the human being the light. I choose the colors on purpose because Dante represents the humans and Barry represents the demons. Okay, so it makes sense. It's not thingy. Okay, here, that's it. Okay, now that this little explanation is done, let's move on to the good things of the show, because the show has good things. Little, but let's go over them. Good points. First one, Enzo, which by extension it also treats Enzo and Dante relationship. Enzo is a really good character. I had fun with him on screen. It's the comic relief. He's Dante's comic relief. But he's chilling. And if you have read the mangas or know anything about Dante's character besides the Reddit just wacky woohoo pizza man shit, whatever. If you know anything about Dante, you know Dante doesn't keep people close because precisely he often ends up losing them because they are put in cahoots with whatever he does. So demons kill them, or someone kills them and whatnot. But Dante's relationship with Endo is pretty sweet. Dante knows Enzo is a piece of shit and will sell him for any amount of money, but he also knows he cares for him, and Enzo he does care for him in his own way. And when he says he could take a job for him, he means it. Literally, by the way. So why I say that there will be spoilers, because yes. But we will talk about that spoiler a bit later. So okay. The original soundtrack is really good. I want to wait. I'm de-doxing myself. I should close this shit. I'm doxing myself. Okay. Here. Evanescence, bring me to life. Release date 2003, this is one of the best songs of Evanescence, or more popular ones, because I think My Immortal is also really good. Let's check DMC 1 release date. Okay, 2001. DMC 2 2003. 2003. DMC 3 2005. Okay, 2005. DMC 4 is 2008. And we all know this was then 10 years later DMC 5 release. Okay, because XDD. So now that we know that DMC release date is the 2001 to 2008, the basically the saga. So you know which kind of bands were. You don't know what kind of bands were important in that time. Linkin Park is one of them, which I'm surprised it isn't in the show. Evanescence is one. Papa Roach is one. And Limp Bizkit is also one. So now you go Evanescence 2003, release date of Devil May Cry 2. Rolling, he released on 2000, which is 1 year before Devil May Cry 1, by the way. Papa Roach, it also released in 2000s. So before you say you come from Devil May Cry 5 to the series, you would think you only have, well, you just have seen Cassie Edwards, and you are, well, understandably pretty attached and pretty well, yeah, attached to the songs that Cassie Edwards puts, and it's understandable because Cassie Edwards is a really good composer, and the songs are really amazing. I'm not gonna deny it. Buried Light and Double Trigger are phenomenal, but please don't say the soundtrack doesn't fit, because it fits. All of this is 2000, early 2000s, from 2000 to 2010, which is the release date of the whole Devil May Cry franchise, but DMC 5. Okay, so they fit, and we have seen Dante listen to multiple songs. Well, not songs like this precisely, but he does listen to rock, normal one and more traditional one, and metal and stuff like that. Dante doesn't care. Dante is that kind of guy. So okay, the original soundtrack is really good. I have to say that. Afterlife is one hell of a banger. You should Afterlife. Outside of the whole inside the DMC show, Enzo is the best thing. Outside of it, Afterlife is the best thing that came out of the whole thing, man. That I think no one will deny it. It is a visual spectacle. It's entertaining enough to watch. If you don't care, and if you are just bored and want to watch something on Netflix, yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty solid 8 out of 10 probably, yeah. You don't care about the whole controversial stuff, and you just want to kill time, kill an afternoon. Yes, you can just watch it and be chilling. It is good. The CGI is a bit rough at times. Sometimes it looks smooth, sometimes it looks like it's on 20 FPS. But on the side note, I say most of the CGI looks a bit uncanny. If you dwell too much into it, I'd say the best CGI one design is Cavalier, and it's probably because of the dark colors, so it doesn't look so out of place. But yeah, the animation's pretty good, especially episode 6, which is really beautiful to look at. Like, disregarding the fact that it shits on a lot of lore, but adds context to the characters, and it's pretty chill and just raw storytelling for the viewer. It's really good. I have to admit, it's really good. It's really good to look at. Not good in the sense of the lore is good. It is not. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It is not. I'm not talking about the Mary Sue part, the Mary Arkham part. I'm talking about the Bunnyman part, because it's not because the character is bad or because his motivations are bad or whatever and whatnot. I don't want. That's a whole different thing, and it's relatable. It's meant to be relatable and to feel empathy for him. But I'm here purely judging from the standpoint that I know a thing or two about DMC lore, and it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense, and we'll get there eventually, okay? But yeah, outside of that, visually it's astonishing, and I guess it's pretty well. We can all agree that the episode 6 is really good to look at. Nero VA is killing it, man, as per usual. Nero VA is amazing. Yeah, I guess the VA in general is amazing. Despite lady swearing like every 5 minutes, at least 3 times. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The VA is still really good, I would say. But there's so much I can sugarcoat it and so much I can compliment. But I wanted to compliment and say the things as they are, because this is constructive criticism. This is not just going blind and saying, oh, the show sucks balls, don't watch it, it's a waste of time, whatnot. At the end of the day, media is meant to be consumed. So if you are bored and don't have anything to do, even the most boring thing will be entertaining for you. And thankfully, the show is not boring. It's pretty entertaining on its own right. Yes, it makes you ragdoll if you know all about the DMC lore and you actually wanted to see a better adaptation of the series. It hurts a lot. Because trust me, I went into this with basically no expectation. I just wanted to see Dante being cool and Virgil just owning the show in like 2 minutes screen time at most. Virgil cameo for 3 seconds and still in the show. That's all I wanted. That's all I got. Kinda. I went with it with a pretty open mind. I don't want to say because I was by the episode 4ish, around 4, and I have a little bit of nitpicks, but I let them slide under the bridge, because I didn't thought much about it. I was just watching and wanting to see the rest, see the whole thing before I judge. But the ending is really bad. The ending is really bad, and it start to make the second part of the show, the second part of the plotline. It just didn't feel right. The moment it just didn't feel right. And for context, this I'm talking about the trying to humanize the demons, which let's go with that. Trying to humanize the demons, okay? The demon civilians and the whole McKay whole thingy. The moment they dropped the name dropped the McKay, I was like, why are you changing? It immediately felt so wrong that I cannot tell you that I didn't stop. That I got stall lock for like 3 seconds, saying, "Wait, why? Why are you?" Whatever, man, and keep rolling with it. I keep rolling with it. I finished episode 7. I was starting to have some issues. And the moment the mythical scene of where Green Day plays in episode 4, in episode 8, the whole bombardment, the carpet bombing and stuff like that happened. That was the moment I said, okay, this shit. That was the moment I got slapped in the face, by all the things that I let slide slowly. And the more I went to sleep, I went the next day, and now and keep thinking and wrapping my hair around it. And the more I fucking tried to think of it, the more the issues started to surface. The more it started to be annoying and senseless. But yeah, let's start with the main point: the demon civilians. If you haven't watched it around the 4 episode, they introduce demon civilians, and I have a whole fucking thing explaining why they are bad. Anyway, I'm gonna open it. Where's this? Yes. No. Which is this? Let's start with the demon civilians because they look like Concord characters. If you saw Concord, they look like this. They look like this. Not all of them, but they look like this. Some look like a fishy thingies with blue like thingies like this, and they're bald. They're fully bald. They look like Yondu too from. Basically, that's how the demon you refugees, civilians, Mechaians, whatever the hell you wanna call them, or that's what they look like, which makes no sense because let's get back right here to the manga, because look, page 4. Look at this, page 2 and 3. Page 2 and 3. The very first 2 and 3 pages of the manga, of the Devil May Cry 3 manga, tells you demon world equal darkness, light world the light is equal to humanity. So this is the main source. They tell you this: demons darkness, humans light. Okay, this is what they tell you, and this is what it wraps my head around, like so much, because this whole concept of the demon civilians, the refugees, that serve basically just as plot device because they make no sense. They just magically appear. They're not even set up from the beginning. They just magically appear halfway through the show without with basically set explanation. Appear. Okay? Let's go with this. The demon civilians are not according to the main source, which is the mangas and the games, because they tell you and they express drastically throughout the shows that darkness are the demons. The demons are bad and humans good. Wait, what is this? Light, humans good. Okay? This is what they tell you. So if you are born a demon, doesn't matter how weak and pathetic you are evil. And this is also another point. Demons, just from their conceptual birth, are way stronger than humans are. Because that's how the scales are put. A single Empusa from Devil May Cry 5, which is a fodder demon, could basically devastate an entire city by itself. Okay? Where's DMC5? Even just a single Empusa. Because demons are that destructive and they are a pest to remove. And you literally see it. There's a freaking squad of soldiers in the beginning of DMC5, and they cannot kill like 3 Empusas, bro. They cannot kill this dude. They cannot kill a freaking ant. Look at this thingy. Look at it. They cannot kill this. They cannot kill this. Look at it. Look at it. And then you play the game and you sneeze at it and it dies. It's stupid, but whatever. Demons are way stronger than humans. Even the most fodder demon, they just want to consume things. They just want to destroy, bloodshed and whatnot. So this whole point is not accurate to this. Which, okay, fine. You can say, okay, it's innovative, whatnot. It's a new way to tell that not all demons are bad, not all humans are good, whatnot. And I would agree with you if it wasn't for this whole part of the equation. I would agree with you. I honestly would play devil's advocate with you if it wasn't because it shits over this entire part of the equation, which is the central part of the first 4 Devil May Cry games. Devil May Cry 1, the opening is Sparda. In Devil May Cry 2, the first missions tell you about Sparda and silly Nargosax and whatnot. As far as I know. I haven't played Devil May Cry 2. I know about a bit of the lore, but not too much. Devil May Cry 3, it also starts with Lady telling you about Sparda. Devil May Cry 4, they start telling you about literally the after the starting credits, you get Sanctus preaching about how Sparda saved them and he's the Lord and whatnot. Okay? And why this clashes and completely destroys the Sparda rebellion? Because we know one thing, and it's very explicitly tell that Sparda rebelled against his own kind for the human compassion and kindness. Okay? I want this to be clear. He did it for the humans which had compassion and kindness. So he did it for the light of the humans. This is the whole context of why Sparda chose to stand against his own kind. Because the humans were compassionate and kind, and they were powerless to stop the demons. That's the whole point. And before you start saying, what, no, then... No, that's character interpretation. And here. The world of demons was once connected to the world of man. The one who ruled the demon world set his sights on conquest of the human world. However, one demon rose up against the demon king and fought to protect mankind, the Dark Knight Sparda. Wielding his massive sword that shared his name, Sparda laid the demon king to rest along with his subordinates. He then sealed the gate connecting both worlds using a sword as the key. While most records offer little to no details about this weapon, many speculate it to be the Sword of Sparda. And yet the following was written in the record of devil swords I discovered. The Dark Knight Sparda split his power in 3 parts. One blade bore his own name, Sparda, aka Force. The second blade was named to embody retaliation, which is rebellion. The final blade was named to embody a god of death, which is Yamato. And before you come here and say, no, but maybe you don't know, maybe it's the other way around, Yamato is a retaliation and rebellion is death. Here, mission 13 of Devil May Cry 5. Okay, let's put them on Heaven or Hell so I can one shot them fast enough to make the point fast, because otherwise we are going to be here 20 years, and I already have tried to do this thing multiple times. So this is important. This is also important because the context of Sparda having 3 swords is, which he equally distributed his power to, is important, because demons, the demonic power of demons, it comes from their names. It's part of their existence and who they are. The demonic power molds is basically hacks. They think of anything, and the demon power and their demon power does it. It has very little limitations. The biggest limitation it has is basically how much power a demon can have. So, to simplify, a demon can think of being faster than of being faster, like the Fury. He can think of being just faster, and the demonic power will accommodate for that. It will make him faster as much as how many demonic power he has. So if he has a lot of demonic power, he will become way faster than another demon who has less power than him. So if they want to destroy something,
Smell that piece of shit from up here. It needs to be flushed.
so if they want to destroy something, they just think of being stronger. It's simple, you know? You know that that's how it works. Okay, I just need to go here, I think. Yeah. I think this is the one. Okay, for those who don't know what I'm doing this, is for the... if you didn't know, in this mission, there's this little holes over here. They lead to those two... There's one over there and one on the other side, I think. Yeah, there's one tree over there and one tree on the other side, which I am not seeing right now. Ah, I got hit by a stupid door because I wasn't looking. Whatever. Why is this important? Because if you go inside this thingy, this hole, in one of the holes, after you travel certain distance, after you hit a certain point, all the characters, well, not all the characters because Burial doesn't have any, but the first three, B, Nero and Dante, have a special dialogue when coursing through here. And this is important for the context of the swords, because Dante explains what rebellion is, basically here. And
Rebellion, power of revenge. Dad really was pretty grim.
you heard him. He confirms that the rebellion is the second sword that is named after the retaliation, because revenge, retaliation, they're synonyms. Okay. Nah, that's a very obscure fact that very little people know about it, because no one reads. No one reads. Well, whatever. Here. The name with his own name is self-explanatory. It's Sparda. Retaliation, Dante just confirmed, is rebellion. So by default, the last blade, the one that's named after death, is Yamato, which also explains why Yamato can cut through a lot of things in a conceptual level, because Yamato is meant to be death, and that separates things and cuts through basically through anything. Is that is a reaper, you know. So now that that's out of the way, let's put the second point. The demon names are truth and of far more consequences than something as corporeal viscera. A demon name is its power and the very fabric of the mold, the demon itself. To take away his name is to render it powerless. The other translation I have here says is, what is it? Oh, what is it? Yeah, here. Says, to them a name is truth. More than those forms they take, it is said that the name of the demon is close to its true substance. Like heirs to a family, they model themselves after the meaning of their name. Okay? And this is important because names are the manifestation of demonic power. Why demonic power is important? Because it's also explained here on the Fury. Like I said, if a demon wants to be faster, Demons mutate based on their deepest, darkest desires. So to take this big Lysa, okay, their fury, it wants to hunt, it wants to go faster, it wants to kill faster, day in, day out. All it can think of is speed. After molding itself, he gets so fast, he uses raw demonic power to do little space-time jumps. It'll walk right next to you and kills you. Okay? That's how it works. That's how demonic power works. Okay. So now that why is this important again? All of this is on the concept of what Sparda Rebellion mean and Sparda as a character, because this is very, very important. Sparda is basically the central point where the entire games take place from, because Sparda, why humans still alive is because of Sparda. Who we play against? Who we play as? Dante, son of Sparda. Okay? All of the consequences of the entire show, of the entire games, revolve around Sparda, one way or another. Sparda is the central point of Devil May Cry franchise. It's not even Dante, it's Sparda. Dante is the protagonist, yes, but Sparda is the whole backbone that holds the entire lore together. Because it's the most important thing and the most important yes, the most important, how do you say it, historical record in Devil May Cry universe. So if a name is so important to a demon, the name Sparda is important to him, because that's who he is. It's his power, it's his inheritance, it's his demon nature. One blade bore his own name, so his own sword had his name. Sparda was his sword. Sparda was sealed by him, and in Devil May Cry 3 we know that it's sealed in the underworld, because that's the point of it, to retrieve Sparda's missing power. It was the last part of the trio that was missing. And you can argue that he didn't split the powers evenly. Maybe his own sword had less power or more power than the rest. It doesn't matter. For the context of right now, we're just gonna use that it's split into three, and let's say all three had the exact same equal amount of power. Okay? Okay. But let's go to that. The sword that bore his name, he left it behind. That means he left behind his demon inheritance, his power, and all that it conveyed in the underworld, his home. He left his demon self behind. This adds meaning and weight to his whole rebellion, because he overcame his nature, moving past the darkness and fought for the light. He moved past the darkness of being born as a demon from sheer will, from what he thought he was right, from his own free volition. It adds weight because he sacrificed and left his power back in the demon world with his sword. Once he was in the other side, he only carried Rebellion and Yamato. Okay? Which is also important because he then gave those swords to Dante and Burial. It's explicitly tell here. Weapon, Dante, Rebellion. Left by the legendary demon Narc Sparda. Ignore Nico thingy, okay? Yamato. Left to Virgil by his father. He consciously left both swords to Dante and Virgil, which it also had part of his essence, of his whole being his demonic power, because he forged them. They are part of him, and the last parts they had of him, because the other one is on the demon world, his home. So him giving them to Dante and Virgil has a lot of weight emotionally for a demon, because he was giving them a piece of himself. You, in a very fucked up way, you can say it was his way of giving a part of always being protecting over them. So it doesn't matter what happens, they will always have a part of him with them, even when he's gone. Which this also is kind of funny, because the swords also represent his life. Being born as a demon, aka Sparda, the second part of his life, rebelling against his kind, retaliation, revenge, and the final blade, death. It's kind of poetic, really. If you really think about it and start to analyze it, it's really poetic, and it has a lot of weight. This is why the fucking Concord NPCs completely negate any weight Sparda Rebellion had. And if you didn't know all of this context and meaning behind it, I hope it makes you see that Sparda really was a righteous, and he was the only true hero of the Devil May Cry universe. Because Dante isn't a hero. He doesn't go hunt demons to free the humans to keep the legacy from his father. He does it out of a quest for revenge, and because they took away what was his family, took away his brother, his mother. That's why he also has the blade of revenge. He doesn't do it because of the justice of his heart. Even when it's part of what will allow him to pay his debts and sustain himself in the demon world, in the human world, he could perfectly be the best hunter in the human world, have millions and tons of money from his work because he's the best. No one could ever hold a candle to him. But he doesn't. He doesn't go out of his way to get jobs. He does it for a very few people, and most of the time those jobs, he doesn't get anything from it, and he's fine with it, because he does those jobs because the people he cares for are involved. He doesn't do it out of righteousness like Sparda did. Sparda did it to protect the human kindness and compassion, to protect their vulnerability. He did it for the light. He sacrificed his power. He devoted his life for mankind. Because if you didn't know, after Sparda put the seal, he spent most of of his life going around and sealing gates and sealing other powerful demons like Abigail and Argosax. And before you say no, it's because he was falling in love with Eva. Eva wasn't a thing until very later in his life, basically on his death. This also, unironically, all of this also explains what happened to Sparda. He died, but he didn't die because he got killed. He simply passed out naturally because he no longer had the demonic power to sustain his physical form in the human world. He simply just vanished. Forsaking his own name eventually killed him. That's at least, I know it's a fucking fun theory, but it's pretty sounding with every single thing that they are giving us. It also explains why he left his swords to their sons, because he wanted them to have something to remember him by, in his own way. Like, Sparda might not have been the most loving father, but he sure was a romantic at heart. He was really fucking going out of his way. But, well, all of this, the context, the meaning, the weight, the whole point of Sparda character gets fucking shafted because of this. The demon refugees, the Mackays, no? As they will call him, I think. I don't care. Why? Because if there are demons who are weak, who are vulnerable, who are powerless, who have compassion and kindness, and are oppressed by other demons, why would Sparda rebel against his own kind, against some that would need him for humans? It doesn't make any fucking sense. And all of this is to make the point that Adi wanted to make Sparda look as a morally great character. He did it for his own selfishness cause and whatnot. It makes... He literally butchered Sparda, one of the most important figures, the backbone of the entire DMC lore universe, basically, just for the sake of inclusivity. And something that wasn't even part of the main source, which is the DMC universe. If you really think about it, this concept is a plot hole, because it makes the Sparda rebellion have no sense. So Sparda shouldn't have rebelled against the humans, especially because his people needed the human world. They needed it, because we're seeing that they couldn't live long without it, with breathing the demon air, which also doesn't make sense, but we'll get there also too. And you know what's the worst part? They're just used as plot convenience. They're not even explained properly. All of the, oh yeah, look at them, poor guys, they're dying. They have babies. You see the baby? Look, you see the baby? You see his little baby? He has his little bug eyes. Look at him. Don't you feel bad for them? Oh, look at what Sparda did to them. Look at what the humans are doing to them. Poor babies, man. Okay. The whole point of their existence is to only be victimized and make the humans bad by doing war crimes, by carpet bombing them and killing them the moment they see them, because they are demons. They think they are bad, but they are really not. You see, we're subverting expectatives. Why? No one cares about freaking Concord ass looking NPC, even if it has a fucking son, when he only exists for 2 seconds and has no real weight behind why he's good. He's just good because he is good. Compare this to how the previous anime did it and how the Devil May Cry franchise handles it. Sparda did it out of righteousness. Trish and Lucia did it out of acceptance. You know? Look at this. DMC anime mission 3 is, I think. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this part. Oh my god, enough! Look at this. Tell me, with a straight face, the freaking Conqueror looking NPCs have more weight than this scene. Tell me.
Everyone has been saying that the gate will open tonight.
Will it now?
But to leave the living world like this would be such a shame.
So I guess it's you then, who's responsible for that string of murders.
I'm very fond of the warm and tasty blood of the living ones. Who did that?
Did you follow me?
Eating a large pizza in 5 minutes. That's a new personal record for me.
Don't you mess with me!
Oh, that's some handshake you got there.
You're a strong as I'd heard.
That almost makes it sound like you know all about me.
I've been in the living world for over a month now. I've heard the rumors about Dante, the devil hunter.
So I guess I can take that as a confession that you're not human, right?
Yes.
Well, then I guess you've got no objections.
No. When I tell you the truth, I have no intention of running away. But there is one thing that I would like to ask of you.
What's that?
I heard that you're a half-breed, born from the union of a human and a demon. If that's so, can you tell me? Were your parents in love? Was there a love between human and demon?
Who knows? You always hear stories about the lovers. They look like they were made for each other, but inside their hearts are as cold as ice.
That's not what I...
But I think a lot of those couples truly loved each other, deep inside their hearts.
You think so?
Was that all you wanted to say?
Yeah.
I almost thought you were gonna try and pull a surprise attack on me.
I know I can't defeat you.
You're kind of a wimp for being a demon, you know that?
Even though I'm a demon, there's no way I could vanquish an opponent like you. Besides, my role here is finished. I'll be leaving.
What do you mean by that?
Tonight my master will arrive. He will come from the demon world into this plane. I was summoned by a human to prepare the way. I have done his bidding. My job is over now.
And why are you telling me this exactly?
Maybe because I want you to put an end to all of this. My master is greedy. I'm sure that he will try to devour this entire city. That cafe with the wonderful coffee. And the hill with such a beautiful view of the setting sun. Everything.
And Angelina too?
What should I do? I don't want to lose her. She was so kind to me. I've always been treated so cruelly in the demon world. But she'd smile at me. And I don't want to think about the possibility of her being devoured by my master. But I'm just one demon. I don't have the power to defy my master.
It's true. You're pretty pathetic. For a demon. But if you can love Angelina that much, you'll be able to live as a human.
Human? You mean it?
Get up and let's go. Got a little welcome for your friend when he comes to town.
If you truly love, you could live as a human. That's what Trish, Lucia, Dante, Nero, him, and Asmodeus do. They can love, they can have compassion, they can have kindness, despite being inherently born dark. They're not just some random refugee who ha always been powerless. Even for a demon who's a slave to someone stronger than them, they were way more powerful than a human could ever be. And this whole point of the civilians, it really bastardizes a lot of the Devil May Cry lore, man. Especially the backbone of it, Sparda Rebellion. And I really cannot stand that, because the more you think about it, the more you want to tear your eyes out while looking at it. So the demon civilians, the Sparda the character butchering, and all of the implications that the OG lore are just completely bastardized by this adaptation. Sparda was a hero. He was righteous and a selfless individual who gained nothing from his crusade until he met Eva, which was way later on his life when his crusade was basically done. Also, other problems, Lady. I know Lady. Let's start from the top. I know Lady curses and says swears and whatnot. I really don't have too much of a grip against it. I really don't care. Yes, she basically in the games she doesn't necessarily swear most of the time. But okay, fine. You wanted to make her more badass and whatnot. Sure, I can get behind it. Like I said, I went with an open mind. I can get behind it. You want to get your own retake on the character? Okay, fine. What pisses me off is that you spent most of the show, because around episode 2, 3, like 2/3 of the chapters were focused on Lady. The other 1/3 was Dante. So Dante was getting the scraps of the show. On a show about Devil May Cry. If the bastardization of Sparda and his character and his rebellion and what all it meant for the whole lore and the implication of the universe wasn't enough, Dante, who's supposed to be the protagonist, is getting the scraps of the show. And before you say the key point that yes, this show is kind of meant to be like the Code 3 lady that was cancelled and was given to Adi Shaker as a source material, still all of that for a nothing burger. And what I mean by that, because Lady is clearly pissed off at demons. She just hates it. She just hates anything that is dark, which is okay, fine, fair. You can say, oh, it's because of his dad and what happened. She was already that before his dad went fucking crazy, because spoiler, he goes crazy and he kills and he dies. He kills his wife like in the main one, but yeah, his father, much like her, is a nothing burger. It does nothing to the plot. It's just there to add character development to Lady, which at the end of the show she doesn't do anything. She literally goes back to square zero. She's still a piece of shit who sold Dante because he was a demon and his power was too fucking great to be left alone. It's not like Mary Sue Lady Arkham fucking had to help Dante beat the main bad guy because the fucking plot decided to nerf Dante every single episode that happened after the first one. Because after the first episode, Dante doesn't get any fucking win, bro. Like, Dante only wins against a bunch of nobody mercenaries, and after that he gets ragdolled by everyone. Well, and he kills Cavalier, but he basically barely, okay? And a bunch of other demons, but whatnot, okay? I bet you didn't notice that in the playthrough, because I didn't while watching it. The more I thought about the show and the bad things, and started to replay the show in my mind, the more I started to notice, wait, Dante has barely any screen time compared to Lady, and even the Bunny Man. Wait, Dante doesn't win any major fights. Yes, he kills Agni, barely, but he then proceeds to get. Okay, we'll get there because this is the whole kind of words. But okay, let's back to Lady because okay. So like I said, she started as a girl who hated demons. Okay, she wanted to annihilate them, and they were bad. Yes, kill them all. She meets the Macaeans, the refugees. Oh, they save me, whatnot. I'm gonna order my troops to save them. They get killed anyway. She doesn't know, but they got saved, huh? That's what she thinks. oh, this dude Dante saved my ass and like 3 times. Whatever, I didn't count them. But I hate him because he's a demon, despite being the very first good demon that didn't try to kill her on sight and just was trying to recover his amulet. I okay, fine. You can say yes, that she still has insecurities and whatnot, By the end of the show, even after everything she went through, and all the trauma and everything, and losing everyone, her team and whatnot, she still is the same piece of shit that started the show. She still sells Dante to the vice president because good soldiers follow orders because he's not the human, he's demon and whatnot. When literally they just fought against the fucking Bunny Man to protect humanity, and he basically sealed the portal again. And he did it even despite being monologued about the demons and the humans and the refugees and whatnot. Dante still chose to fight for what he thought his father fought for, humanity. He still stood by his father's wishes. And lady, the piece of shit that she is, that she started the show as, she ended the show as, sold him. So, the entire screen time that you put into this character, it doesn't matter because she didn't move a single fucking centimeter or millimeter or inch or whatever the fuck you wanna call from her starting position. She looked around, oh, how pitiful. Anyway, like I said, I went with open mind, and I honestly didn't care too much about it when I first saw the show. But then the carpet bombing happened, and that was the slap in the face that I needed to wake up and see how shitty the show really was. Because, holy, like I said, this I let it slide. Dante not having protagonism, I let it slide. The Mechanians at first glance, I let them slide. I literally I was eating what the pile of shit that they give me. I was eating, I was chewing. No, this tasted bad. Maybe in the next chapter. No, okay, fine. Well, that is entirely true because the first chapter is kinda nice. Okay, Dante does Dante things, and yeah, it's the chapter where Dante has the most protagonism, by the way. The very first one, and after that he just goes to the sidekick. And okay, this one tastes nice. Next bite. Okay. Doesn't taste too much. Okay. Next bite. Okay. Dante's trying to be cool, and okay, it didn't pay out. Okay, whatever. Let's keep going. Demon refugees. You know, I'm chewing. I'm thinking. I'm digesting. It tastes bitter. It tastes bad. Okay, let's keep going. Maybe it has payout, no? Oh, they made the only one who prays about God and whatnot, the evil dude, and he makes the very first war crime in the series. Okay, fine. Move on. Oh, episode 6 is nice. Another sweet thing. Oh, why the rabbit man crossed to the demon world and nothing happened? Because this is also a point. In the original series, the demon world is toxic. The demon world perverts people, and not then sexual. No, it literally destroys their minds. It molds them into demons. The very air of the demon world kills them. is toxic. Not to mention the demon world has a different spatiality, atmosphere. Yeah, it's not atmosphere because it's not a planet. What? Spatiality and time flux than the normal human world. A normal human simply couldn't be in hell. The moment he goes there for more than 1 second, he fucking dies and becomes a demon. Because that's what happens in DMC2. Like I say, I haven't played DMC2. I have it on a pin list, but I really want to play it. But the more I think about it, the more I think about the gameplay that I have to endure or something like that, I genuinely don't want to play anything below DMC3 because even DMC3 it has aged kinda well, but playing without style switching and stuff like that, it just feels really bad. And I don't want to play DMC2 and DMC1. I really hope that Capcom would do the Resident Evil route and remake DMC1 and DMC2. But okay, let's back to the point. I'm diverging too much. This has no script, by the way. Yeah. All of this is to the point that by the time I ended the show, when I'm going with all of this, by the time I end the show, it felt bitter. I didn't have a good taste in my mouth. I wasn't happy with the ending, despite Virgil, my fucking goat, and my most favorite character of all of fiction, being literally the last scene of the series. I didn't have a good taste in my mouth, despite Virgin looking cool and Judgment cutting all over the fucking place. I didn't have a good taste. Not even Beryl could save the show at that point. Not even my most favorite character could distract me from the fact that yes, I felt something was wrong. But let's keep going. All of that, yes, you can say, oh, but it's not a different. It's a different world and whatnot. Okay. And give it a chance, and maybe it gets better in season 2. Maybe, mayhaps. I'm gonna play devil advocate and give you the wiggle room. Okay, fine. Don't care about that. Why the show consistency is so bad? Then, and what do I mean by that? These are little well, not nitpicks, details that I started to notice the more I wrap my head around the entire show. The show consistency. Dante in the first episode, he dodges like 20 plus mercenaries with rifles and guns. Even some of them he dodges them on point blank for most of the first episode. You know what happens on the second part of the episode? Mary Sue lady appears and she drops a grenade. She decoys his amulet with a grenade to him, and he takes so long to react that the grenade explodes. You can tell me this dude can dodge gunfire point blank and he cannot dodge a grenade? What the? And that's not the worst part. He chases lady, no? Mary Sue. Okay, she tricks him into getting in a storage room, I think. And when she even fucking deletes her position, they're saying, "Hey, I'm here, by the way," and she starts slightly monologues. She shoots at him. The gun she's pointing at him with a gun. She shoots at him a bunch of tasers, and he doesn't dodge. It's not even because he's part of the plan. She simply outsmarted and outplayed him. Are you telling me he can dodge fucking gunfire, but a few tasers he cannot dodge? And you would say, okay, it happened like in DMC3, he was tired. The consistency of Dante and Virgil being tired, it always involves them fighting each other or fighting an opponent equal as strong as them, like Mundus in DMC1. when Dante fought Mundus. That's the only times we have seen Dante physically tired. Well, and the ending of DMC 3 where he fights the blow of Arkham, because Arkham had the Force H and had the power of Sparda. So yeah, that it was a pretty fair match. That's the only times we have seen Dante actively get tired. So are you telling me 20 mercenaries is what takes Dante to be tired? Huh? Okay, fine, let's say it's tired. Move on to the next point. Dante ragdolls the entire demon squad of the Bunnymen, Cavaliere, Kidna, and Agni and Rudra in the motorcycle scene. All of this before unlocking his double trigger, by the way. He literally whops the floor with them. He almost catches the demon rabbit until the fucking thingy explodes in his neck. The bomb, the little chip that explodes in his neck. Which is also another inconsistency, by the way, but... Then... Agni and Rudra started to literally pick on him and tell him things that make him mad, make him actively angry, and make him remember that he is the son of Sparda and accept his demon inheritance. And he's like halfway activating double trigger by this point. And even then he cannot cleanly wipe the floor with Agni and Rudra on a fist fight. What? Even DMC3 Dante, before he fought Burial, before he awoke on his double trigger, mopped the fucking floor with Agni and Rudra in DMC3. Why he cannot do it here? Why he needs double trigger? And that's the best part. Yes, he kills Agni before activating his double trigger. He has his double trigger, he mops the floor with Rudra, but he leaves him be because he's distracted with the explosion and goes to search the lady, you know? And so because he thinks that that's where the bunny demon is. So he goes there, and then Rudra catches him up to him, and he cannot shake him up, despite being on double trigger. And the double trigger runs out, which is also another plot hole, because in the original universe, the double triggers. Let's ignore the fact that double trigger is never called double trigger, addressed as double trigger in the games, outside of gameplay purposes. Yes, in gameplay and in the BIOS and everything, they call him double trigger. But on gameplay, on lore, they never call it double trigger. Never call it double trigger. They just call it their demon form, their true form. And I mean it. Look at it. Devil form 2. Look at Nero. Oh, his power unleashed. It never says double trigger. Dante's true form. They never say his double trigger in lore. They say it on gameplay for sake of saying, but they never address it as double trigger. But okay, fine. It's for show purposes. It's like saying Super Saiyan. It's just a buzzword, okay? But where I'm going with this is double triggers only have that limitation of running out on gameplay for gameplay purposes, because in reality they can stay on double trigger for as long as they want. They can even access it when they're tired. You literally see in DMC5 how Burial is still tired and recovering from fighting Dante and sparring with Nero, that he still can access his sin double trigger. And even after all of that, he still accesses sin double trigger and flies down the tree, even after sparring with Nero. So the double trigger rolling out, first, it doesn't make sense, and two, even with double trigger, he cannot shake off Rudra. What the fuck? Why? Why? Okay, but let's move on. We're shown Dante healing a shotgun hit through his chest in point blank in like 2-3 seconds. Which he didn't stutter about it. Then his get gets blown off and it takes like 30 minutes to heal. Which is not even, because his head regenerates by the time the Agni and Rudra are kidnapping him to the plane. But the catch is that he still has the scar. Ooh, the scar. And the scar takes like 3 minutes to heal. Or 30 minutes. I don't know how much time it passes between him boarding the plane and him fucking flying around. Which is not how the regeneration works. The regeneration just works because they regenerate. Even the smaller demons, the most normal ones, they regenerate. Demons are immune to any physical weapon, and even if their weapons even if their physical form is destroyed, they still exist as physical concept, as concepts, as their names, as their souls. Because souls do, even before you say that POC is not canon or whatnot, souls exist. Souls are what makes the devil arms. When another demon finds someone worthy or stronger than him, they sometimes willingly or unwillingly become devil arms. That's how the devil arms work. That's also why not all demons become devil arms, because sometimes their soul just gets destroyed and doesn't want to obey someone else. That's why not all demons become devil arms, if you didn't know, by the way. But okay, let's get back to the point. We're shown that just a scar takes Dante to heal like 30 minutes. It doesn't make sense. Then let's go back to I don't have anything, but I'm gonna take way more time writing it than saying it. So let's go straight to it. We're shown. This is another important part that is so fucking stupid to me. Mary Sue can barely hold herself against Agni, Rudra, the Plasma Gob, and the fucking Echidna. And also Cavalier. She barely can hold herself off. And this is before she got poisoned, by the way. But let's stay on track. She barely can hold herself up. Ooh. She literally shots them and she doesn't kill them. And then, few episodes later, the Dante that couldn't shake off Rudra, and Rudra come crashing through the window, and Rudra is about to beat the living shit out of Dante, which doesn't make sense, by the way, like I already said. But then lady just goes boom, one shot, and she kills him. Huh? Why didn't you do that like 3 episodes ago? Holy plot convenience, bro. The power of the fucking script, bro. And that's not even it. We literally see her later against the army of fucking NPCs of the Bunny Man. How she gets overpowered by a fucking bunch of cannon fodder demons who Dante kills in one swing. Oh, but then magically she can stand up and dodge and help Dante against the Bunny Man when he goes fucking mutated Berserker Hulk mode. And that's also another plot hole. That's also another fucking point that pisses me off. Dante doesn't even finish the Bunny Man. He doesn't even kill it. He doesn't even kill it. And this is annoying because Dante loses Enzo to him. Enzo ends up dying to protect him. To protect Dante. His best friend dies in front of him to a fucking Hulk dude, which the original timeline Dante would kill before he awakened his fucking double trigger, bro. Huh? So Dante loses a loved one. He should fucking lock in, like when he technically locks in to get his amulet back to preserve the promise he gave to his mother. He locks in and then he gets fucking ragdolled 2 seconds later, bro. What the fuck? So like I said, he couldn't defeat the fucking main guy without Lady conveniently, in plot relevance, the Mary Sue Way style, shoot him on the fucking, on his artificial heart. Otherwise Dante doesn't win shit. Huh? Why? Whatever, man. Another point. Do I have another point? Ah, yes. Yes, I do have another point. Because this one is even more stupid. Do you know the government and the Arkham and the fucking military force that lady works as, and it's clearly stated that she is the best they have? Even her team was better than the fucking nobodies of the other thingy. And even we're shown that the fucking bunny man killed an entire squad on his own, and he just leave the fucking double agent fucking alive. You know all of that thing that they are getting outmatched? Do you know how even the Agni Rudra Cavalier and Echidna and Cavalier kill the entire team of Lady by themselves? Just Cavalier himself kills most of her team, which are supposed to be the elite, no? The best of the best. And then you're trying to tell me that just because Green Day is blasting on the background, the fucking, and the vice president says, oh, we're doing the fifth retaliation in the holy war. Wow! USA! US! Just because he said that, they can magically go into the underworld and colonize parts of it. Huh? Didn't you fucking clowns were struggling to kill mid-tier demons like Cavalier and fucking low-tier demons? How the fuck are you let's ignore the fact that the air is toxic because yes, they wear COVID masks and now they magically can breathe on the underworld. Fine, whatever, what not. So you're now telling me that just because magically, plot convenience, you can go to the demon world and enslave and kill demons? Really? What happened to the whole point that the demons, the higher tier demons, couldn't cross over because they were too blocked by the barrier? Like, the moment you send a fucking squad, you can send 20 fucking choppers, 20 fucking air blackbirds, bro, and 100 tanks and 100,000 men. They would get fucking wiped out by random ass fury. You see this stupid lizard over here? What is it? You see this lizard over here? This stupid red lizard? This stupid red lizard will kill all your entire foot troops in like 2 seconds. So you are telling me just because of plot convenience, now they can go to the underworld and do the first strike of the holy war? Wow, America, yes. The power of the... Oh my god. Huh? And then you would say, no, but they only conquer the refugees. No, we're literally shown that they just walk through the fucking surface of the underworld, chilling. Oh yes, we have tanks, we have carpet bombing. Wow, we are so good. A fucking Empusa Queen will just destroy the entire fucking your entire force, bro. Let alone a demon like Cerberus, a demon like Nevan, a demon like God Gilgamesh. Hell, the moment these fucking clowns open a portal, you know what will had happened? Mundus will have, oh, these dudes are invading me. Fucking peasants. Goes there and just fucking lifts his hand, and all of the entire fucking human squads, they just die, bro. They just evaporate to fucking ashes, bro. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I know it's set up for season 2, but it doesn't make any fucking sense, like I said. Like I say, let's just ignore the whole points that this show is bad, like the demons and civilians and whatnot, and the Sparda character. Let's ignore all of that. The consistency is bad, like really bad within their own narrative. You can probably go back and check more points like this and say, okay, this shit, what are they doing? But yeah, I hope this video at least made my point come across, and if you do share some of my points of view and you do agree with what I pointed out here, and that, consider sharing it. And really, and like I said, it's not to hate anyone, I'm not, please don't attack anyone. If they don't agree with it, if they like the show, let them be. Like, okay, it's fine, everyone can like whatever the hell they want. Don't go attack them personally, because at the end of the day, media is meant to be consumed, and not everyone is going to enjoy the same ice cream. Not everyone is going to enjoy the same foods. No one is going to enjoy the same color. It's fine. Move on, the life lives. But I wanted to point out all of these problems because they are very predominant, and they honestly shit all over the Devil May Cry show and adaptation. So if I really hope it enlightened at least a bit of the whole context of why a lot of people are not liking it, because yeah, I have seen a lot of people that they don't like it. They butchering their characters, they are getting points wrong of the lore, and it's really frustrating because they are mad precisely not because they don't hate the show, because they wanted the show to be good. That's the point. We are mad not because we are against the creator or whatnot. We are mad because we wanted this show to be good. We wanted to succeed, to get more seasons, to get more adaptation. But if they're gonna keep doing this, it would have been better if we never gotten the show, to be honest. Because 2008, it also has its flaws, the 2008 anime, but it respected the characters for the most part. It also stayed on the lore and respected it. This one doesn't. This one is just a spectacle for the sake of spectacle with filler inclusivism and politics and religion and whatnot. I'm gonna give the example of the water. Think of it. Think that DMC, the original DMC, is a bottle of soda, a bottle of Monster, a bottle of alcohol, whatever the hell you want it to be. A cocktail, whatever, okay? This show adds water. Okay, maybe a bit of water, okay, to balance it a bit, okay? Okay, fine. Can get it. More water, more water, more water. The flavor is kinda going off, but it's still a cocktail, it's still the soda, it still tastes good, right? More water, more water, and more water, and more water, and more water, more gray, more gray, more gray. And then all of the sudden, it doesn't taste as anything, it's just water. It's just filler. It's just inclusivism. It's just politics, religion, agenda. It's not DMC anymore. That's why the people are mad. Because all they wanted is their DMC on Netflix as a show they can watch. They just wanted to see the games re-represented as a show. They didn't want fucking Maykayans or whatever the fuck you call the demon refugees or civilians. They wanted to see, I don't know, the rebellion of Sparda. The first episode just being the whole rebellion of Sparda and how it happened. They wanted to see Dante doing what he did in episode 1, having a blast and having fun and doing his thing and eating ice cream. They wanted to see Dante get jobs and destroying guns and meeting Nell Goldstein and her working on Ebony and Ivory. That's what they wanted to see. They didn't want to see this whole political shit, and they didn't want to see the carpet bombing of the Mackayans. They wanted to see DMC. They didn't come here to see those kinds of ideas. Okay? And I really hope that this point gets across, because it really is frustrating. Anyway, peace out.